Hello there. This video will be for substitute teachers for Modesto City Schools and go over some of the new features present within the Teams applications that may assist you in managing your class and running your Teams meetings for the classes you are substituting for. So to get started, we'll be working in the Teams app as seen here. And I want to go over some basic features that you may or may not be aware of so you have an idea of what you could do within Teams in its current state. First of all, if we look at the Participants tab within Teams, you'll notice you are highlighted as the presenter, and you also have a list of attendees in your meeting. Looking at the Attendees pane, which, if not visible, can be toggled by selecting the arrow here to show the attendees or hide them, you can see your attendee actually has an indication of their microphone status. Once you hover over your attendee, you'll notice the icon changes and you're able to click on it to bring up more options. From within this menu, you can disable your participant's microphone or camera, you can pin them to your screen, you can spotlight them, which is useful if you want everyone in your meeting to be able to see that person's screen or content. You can also make this attendee a presenter. And lastly, you can remove this individual attendee from your meeting. Next up is the chat window. The chat window has not added too many features, but you are still able to chat in real time, and if the meeting settings allow it, students are able to chat back with you. Keep in mind, this chat record is persistent, and any comments in the chat window will be recorded. The reactions menu will allow you to interact with your students using predetermined reactions, and is also useful to allow the students to raise their hand in class to ask a question. When they raise their hand, an indicator will light up around their profile picture, and you will see the hand icon next to their name. At this point, you can choose to allow the student to unmute their microphone and ask a question, or you can now pause and answer a question in the chat. The next feature that has been added to Teams is called Breakout Rooms. By selecting Breakout Rooms, you can choose a number of rooms you wish to use, and then choose to assign your students to these breakout rooms using two methods, either automatically or manually. Once your settings have been chosen, select Create Rooms, and your students will be automatically moved into the number of breakout rooms based on your participant selection. This setting is useful if you wish to segment your Teams meeting into smaller groups for study sessions or group work. Next up is the More Actions menu. Within this menu, there are many selections to allow you to customize the Teams meeting to your specific needs. Recommendations for substitutes are to not adjust any settings in this meeting, as it may have effects that prevent you from interacting with the meeting further. As always, we have our camera and microphone settings, which will allow us to be visually represented on the screen using the camera and be heard by our students in the class. The last menu of note is our Share Content menu. By selecting Share Content, we're presented with several options that will allow us to share different content with our attendees. Make special note of the Include Computer Sound selection. If you intend on sharing any video or audio content that has sound which is being hosted on your computer, you will need to select this Include Computer Sound menu to allow students to be able to hear the content on their end. Moving down, we have our Presenter Mode option, which will allow us to choose how we present our content to our students. The first screen, Content Only, is the default setting, which will only show any shared content. The next three settings are representative of different ways you can be on the screen at the same time with the content you are sharing. Further down, you will see you have options to share individual screens in the current setup for your computer. Selecting the appropriate screen will share that content out to your student group. Be aware any content that is currently visible on your screen will be shared and visible to your students. Continuing further, you will see the window selection. The window selection allows you more precise control over the content you are sharing with your students. Selecting window, you will be given a list of available and open windows on your particular computer. From this selection, you can choose to share a specific window with your students. This will prevent them from seeing every piece of content present on the screen where that window currently resides. Once you've identified the content you wish to share from the window menu, select that content, and the content will then be shared out to your Teams meeting. As you see here, I selected the Schoology option, and the Schoology.com page is now being shared to my students. Also, you'll notice a new menu bar appears at the top of the screen to give you control over your content. From here, if you choose, you can alter the presenting mode options for content or content with presenter option as discussed before. Once you are done presenting your screen, simply click the Stop Presenting option from the menu bar. As you see now, your Teams meeting has returned to the forefront of your screen, and you are able to continue your meeting. The next two features in the Teams Share Content menu offer powerful new tools to allow you to interact with your students in new ways. By clicking the Share Content menu, you will see an option for Microsoft Whiteboard. Microsoft Whiteboard is a collaborative workspace that allows you to interact with your attendees and create a shared whiteboard workspace within your Teams meeting. By selecting the Microsoft Whiteboard option, a whiteboard will be generated within the Teams meeting for use by the meeting attendees. Within the Microsoft Whiteboard workspace, you can use notes and text to collaborate with your students, as well as drawings to enhance your workspace experience. You can change the name of your whiteboard space, and you can close the options available to you. Once you are done with your whiteboard workspace, select Stop Presenting to close the whiteboard. The next feature within the Teams Share Content menu is the Teams PowerPoint Live functionality. PowerPoint Live offers you the ability to control a PowerPoint presentation within your Teams meeting. This eliminates the need to keep a PowerPoint presentation open on your computer and use the Share Content feature to share a screen. By selecting PowerPoint Live, you can load the PowerPoint presentation inside your Teams window and control it using options within the Teams window. As you'll see, I have clicked the PowerPoint presentation here, and the meeting loads within my Teams meeting. This gives me the ability to see all my slides, control it using the arrow key options, as well as highlight and call out different options within my PowerPoint by using the laser pointer and pen options. I can navigate the slides by using the arrows as stated. I can go to a grid view format to see my slides if I want more control. And I can directly select slides to move through my presentation. You will also see you have the advantage of presenter mode in this option so that your students can see your slides and you can see your notes. Once you are done using PowerPoint Live, simply click Stop Presenting. You will receive a notification that this will end the presentation for everyone. Simply click the Stop Presenting option, and your Teams meeting can continue as normal. As always, it is worth mentioning, please be aware of your camera and microphone settings at all times within your Teams meeting to make sure you are being represented on screen or audibly to your students. One of the other options within the Teams interface is the new ability to leave a meeting or end a meeting. These options are shown under the Leave button located on the top right corner. By clicking the toggle, you will see you have two options, Leave Meeting or End Meeting. If you leave a meeting, it will not end the meeting for the remainder of the participants in the meeting, and the chat will remain open and available to meeting attendees. By clicking End Meeting, you will completely end the meeting and close the chat availability to all attendees. Once you have clicked End Meeting, you will receive a notification that you will be ending the meeting for everyone. Click End to completely end the meeting. You have now ended your Teams meeting. You can navigate back to your Teams session where you will still have access to the chat history for the meeting. Thank you for watching this short video on new Teams features available to you as a substitute teacher. We hope this has helped and provided insight on the new features within Teams and how they can assist you in managing your classroom team meetings.